Hello YouTube, my name is Nicholas Montez, and you're watching my YouTube channel, The Teenage Movie Critic. And welcome back to my YouTube channel, everybody. I'm so excited to have you all back together again. And in today's video, we're going to be finally doing my end of the month list, starting with the first time watches of May of 2024. And I actually saw quite a few. I lowered it down from the last 2 months because I've seen so many movies. But I did actually see some really good first time watches from the past couple years. And so now I finally get to share those movies with you guys. And with that said, let's go ahead and get started. So I've seen a pretty good amount of films this month, but there are, of course, things that I did see that were pretty awful. So let's go ahead and get started with that. First up, we have Garfield. Well, let's just be honest, all the Garfield movies that I saw this month are going in the F tier. This one, Garfield Pet Force, Garfield Fun Fest, Garfield... whatever. All those Garfield movies, they're awful. The animation's awful. I can't connect with it. But we can't talk about something else that's interesting, which is Scream 4. So, I think I was watching Radio Silence films back when Abigail came out, which is a film we'll be talking about soon. And I thought they directed some of the most recent Scream movies, and I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty cool. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to check out the other Scream movies that I haven't seen. And Scream 4, I think, was a very good contender. So, granted, there's other ones I love, but this is definitely one of the great ones. Next up, we have Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. So I finally watched the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and you'll get my opinions on all the other movies later. But with this third film that completes the trilogy, I think that this movie is everything that I want in a Pirates of the Caribbean film. Where, first off, the story itself is actually pretty great. Where people say that it's like the endgame of the 2000s, and it really is that. It's epic. When it comes to the fights and the action, it's all great. Especially the one in Singapore and the third act. The way they use all the characters when there's just so many pirates, and we get to develop more of Davy Jones' character, but we still get to have fun with more of Jack Sparrow's character. It's a lot of fun stuff there, and just the action and the score and the character dynamics and the comedy, as well as just the story that they came up with and the way they used the characters. It was just a ton of fun, and it found a way to kind of, in my opinion, close out some better things, and it also was kind of gorgeous in some ways. So while it's not perfect, it is still a film that I absolutely love. So yeah, you're going in A tier for me. I love Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. Next up, we have Abigail, the most recent Radio Silence film. I thought this movie was really good. It was good. That's all I can really say about that. It had some clever twists and some good horror elements to it, as it's basically a vampire action horror film. I'll put this in C. Arcadian. Not really much to say about that, other than it's good. So C. Bad Boys 2. I am kind of obsessed with Bad Boys as of right now. I can't really think as to what my obsession was the last month of May. I can't really think of it. Maybe it was Planet of the Apes, but then slowly, as we started veering to Bad Boys, I started watching Bad Boys stuff like all weekend. And Bad Boys 2, because I saw the first Bad Boys, and then I saw Bad Boys for Life, and I finally got to check out Bad Boys 2 because I'd never seen it, and I'm like, I was shocked as to how good this one was. Where it's funnier than the first film, and there's just a lot of insane action, But everything combined, it's just better than the first film. Obviously, Bad Boys for Life is still the best one, but this one just takes everything that you liked about the first movie and does it so much better. And it's like, it makes you feel proud that we have these movies that it's like, it's not a shame for them to be rated R. They're good. This is telling you that they're good movies. And so for me, as to where I'll put them, I will say it is a flawed film. Much like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End, it's not perfect. I feel like it's a little bit too long, that it has too much. But we'll talk about that movie later on when we talk about the Bad Boys films next week when I go see Bad Boys Ride or Die. Next up, we have Fury, the Memorial Day movie that I watched. I liked it. I'll put it in C. Hannibal Rising. So I actually watched the Hannibal Lecter films. I'm currently watching the Hannibal TV show. I thought this film was actually pretty great. So you're going to go in the B tier. Mad Max Fury Road. This is actually a very experimental film because the best thing about it is that it's a chase action movie the entire thing. And the action, it's actually quite great. And that's kind of all I can really say about it. But I will still put it in B because I still think it's very good. The Beatles, Let It Be. Yeah, I thought this film was good. It wasn't the best. I don't really care too much about the Beatles, but I had to check it out because Disney Plus kept advertising it. Manhunter, I'll put it in C. Pirates of the Caribbean, on Stranger Tides. Yeah, I actually think this is where the franchise just easily just became kind of weird. Now, it still has some good moments. I like the Ian McShane pirate. I like the mermaids. They're creepy, and I do like the sword action. But this one just kind of suffered when it came to, like, finding of what made the Pirates franchise so great. And so, I'll put this in D. It still has some enjoyable moments. I will put it, I gave it like a B-. It still has some enjoyable stuff, but it lacks what made those other films so great. Mad Max Thunderstorm Road, or whatever, the third film. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of this one. This is also going to go in D. I don't really remember it either. Chances are, yeah, this was a solid little Robert Downey Jr. film. I thought it was good. C tier. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest. This one I thought was pretty good. It's not quite as good as the first film, but it still does some things that I think were really cool. The action is really cool. I like the way they continue the story and the way they continued certain characters, but it doesn't feel quite as epic. And I also like the introduction to Davy Jones, but at the same time, it doesn't feel quite as epic as you would want it to be. Sorry, I have something here. So as to where I'll put it, because parts of me just wants to put it in the B tier, but it doesn't quite stick with the way it's going. I'll put it in B. Even though there's some A tier movies in there, it's my list. I don't care. Brief Interviews. This is one of the first John Krasinski movies I watched for If. Yeah, no, I'll put it high F, but that's not saying much. The Hollars, yeah, same thing. I wasn't a big fan of the other John Krasinski movies, as you can tell. Mad Max 2. Mad Max 2 was actually pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. I'll put it high C tier. And then, which one is this? I believe this is... I forgot what this one was, but I'll put it in D tier. Sasquatch Sunset. Wasn't really a big fan of it. It was very weird. Put in D. Cabrini, yeah, not a big fan of it. D tier. Now we have Life of Pi. Now this was a film that I watched technically a week ago because I missed school that day because I had an early release. And my friend told me that we were watching in class for an extra credit assignment, which I didn't do. It's like due in 2 days or whatever. But we finished the movie when I came back on the next A day, And I mean, I already watched it before then, the full thing, and I gotta be honest, this movie is incredible. I mean, the story is pretty great, but what I really loved about it was the direction, and I also just loved the artistry. There are shots in this movie that just look like absolute art. Like I just said with Pirates of the Caribbean, at World's End, both of these movies just feel like complete art to me. So, yeah, I loved this movie. This was my favorite movie of this month, probably. Next up, we have Pirates of the Caribbean, then The Curse of the Black Pearl. And I thought this was just such a unique experience for film, as it introduced us to this world of pirates with really good action, a great score, fun characters, and just kind of introduced you into a world where it's like, it was really cool. The problem is, it doesn't feel quite as epic as you would think it is, and you don't really get as much moment. That's why I like At World's End, because it actually feels like a great movie, even though it has some issues. So I'll still put it in B. So yeah, it's still a very good film. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man Tell No Tales, I think is easily the weakest of all the pirate movies. It still got some really good special effects. The shots of the water and explosions, they're really cool. But it doesn't have the action that you like. The score is pretty good. And the story itself just feels like we're repeating stuff. And the chemistry between Jack and Will Turner's son just doesn't really feel... I didn't really feel anything. Yeah, this is a D film. This is the Queen concert. Queen Rock Montreal. Yeah, I'll put it in C as well. I like Queen. Scream 2022. Thought this was pretty great, but it is pretty flawed, so you're gonna go in B. Next up we have Scream 6 from last year. I thought this was actually pretty great, so they're going in A tier. And then finally we have Silence of the Lambs, which I thought was a great introduction to the franchise, and I'll put this one in B tier. The question is, where would I put it in B tier? And I'll put it at the bottom. And yeah, that's pretty much my ranking of all the movies that I saw this past month. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really hope you enjoyed. If you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.